Ooh-wee. Hello, everybody. Greetings and good morning. Well, good morning if you're even close to my time anyway. How are you all doing? Just finished my breakfast. And hoping that my frozen shoulder doesn't get worse today. Woo! Ooh, excuse me. How was the weekend for everybody here? Oh, jeez. Mine shaft? Sure, I'll let you shaft my mind. Why not? The awkward process of like eating your cereal and then having to finally get around to stirring your coffee so that the candy cane that you're using as a sweetener will dissolve. All right. There we go. How close are these furnaces to being finished? It's got one more block of coal. It'll get there in relatively no time. How you doing, Eli? Big Bad Knight? Cortex? Hope you're all doing relatively okay, at least. Oh, and Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Greetings to all of you. Got a new phone and have been busy, so I've only recently set up my Twitch again. Really? Man, getting a new phone is, like, both exciting and awkward. I think I'm starting to get into that part of my life where I'm like, man, I don't want to fucking upgrade again. I'm so sick of this. I remember when I built my first computer, because that's basically what it was for me. Like getting a new phone for people today, I feel like that was for me back in the day. It was getting a new computer or building one. So like the first computer I built, I remember how freaking excited I was. And how amazing the prospect and everything, it was an upgrade. I was no longer on the old family computer, right? And then, and I wasn't as excited, but I was still pretty damn excited whenever I had to rebuild my computer the first time. Years later, I was like, oh boy, it's gonna be even more powerful, because admittedly, like the first computer that I ever built really wasn't all that powerful. It was cobbled together from a bunch of different parts. So the second one was like the proper build where it was like, oh yeah, everything was bought custom for just this moment. Where the first computer that I bought was like, it was, what I could manage, So that was the situation I was in the first time around, and then the second time around was pretty different. The third time around, I realized, oh, this is nice. I'm getting something more powerful, but it's not as exciting as it was the first or the second time. And then by the time I had to rebuild my computer the fourth time, I was like, man, I'm done with this shit. I don't even want to bother with upgrading. This is such a hassle. I just want the damn thing to work. And it was at that moment that I was like, okay, I understand why you pay out to have somebody else take care of this shit, Of course, I'll never pay out to have somebody else take care of the stuff because I mean, you pay a company to take care of that computer stuff for you, and you just end up with so much freaking bloatware, Like, maybe if I was running my own department, my own company, and I had an IT department, it'd be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll let people work on the computers for me. Also, I can't trust anybody else with my computer, or rebuilding it for that matter. And you know why? It's because there are saucy pics of me on this computer. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm super careful and everything is locked down in Fort Knox or anything, but I'm also not like super careless And I'm just like, oh, hey, look, there are naked pictures on the desktop or something, you know? So, I've... It's like, yeah, like, my computer's a little bit personal. Like, I put the P in the PC. Doing better than Friday and Saturday. A lot less sick. Hey, that's good to hear. All of the baked potatoes. All of the baked potatoes. And then some. My work here is never finished. The work of a potato chef. Look at me. I just keep baking these things. Always and forever, I believe. That's the way that it works. I also understand. I have a pre-built. Oh, Kato, you're here. I didn't see you until just now. I saw your comment, but didn't recognize your name. Good morning, and gosh dang it, I have to be a responsible gamer, so I'll be lurking for a while. Ah, I get you. That situation where it's like you're supposed to be editing audio or you're supposed to be working through a game capturing specific footage or something. I waited like 4 years, but this Galaxy Note, but this is a Galaxy Note, so it's pretty exciting what I can do with it and actually makes some good high detail art if I wanted. Really? I need to install this update on my phone. I've not wanted to do it all morning. Man, updates for phones are just a pain. Tev has the worst experience with phone updates. Like, basically, there's a new one pushed out every 2 days, it seems. It seems that way, and like, I'm certain it's not that bad, but God, it could actually be that bad. All the baked potatoes and baked spuds and then some. Strife, I don't think your computer is technically a robot. No, it's not a robot. But if she was... Been really good I've been reading a really good webcomic and I'm caught up and sad because I have to wait for the next update. Ah... Yes, I remember hitting points like that whenever I was younger, you know, during the Web 1.0 days, basically, where it was like there were web rings and RSS feeds and, you know, days whenever it was like you had to go out and find the content on your own. There wasn't an algorithm feeding the content to you. And I remember having a million bookmarks. I remember having a ton of bookmarks for all of the... websites that I would go to on a daily basis. It was like okay, I start the web browser and I immediately open. Oh God, this would have been back before tabbed browsing too. So I would open a site up, I would read it, and I would then go to my bookmarks and open a different site up and read it. And it's like no tabs, so like only one single window was what I could do, and I just remember doing so much of that whenever I was younger. Jumping from one website to jumping between 12 websites the first thing whenever I got on the computer after school, because all of the webcomics would have updated. So... Sideshell looking nice. I'm doing my job with it. Tea, slight meds, rest have been helping. It's the Patreon vlog day, so I gotta look presentable and stuff. Oh no! You have to get out of your sweatpants and your grimy t-shirt and everything? Jeez, I know what that's like. Greetings, Extra Haber. RSS feeds are still a thing and I use them a lot. I just remember RSS feeds, but I never actually used them. I never took the time to figure out what the hell they were. If your PC was a robot, make sure to use protection. You don't want to give it an SSD. I'm just waiting on the last of the smelting to happen here. And then I'm gonna hit the road and I'm gonna go back to spawn and I'm gonna do my thing. Also, it's probably a good idea for me to break these furnaces and like repair some of my equipment here. So how was the weekend for you guys, eh? My weekend turned out to be more difficult than I expected it to be. While we were streaming Borderlands on Saturday night, I could feel something happening to my right shoulder, or no, my left shoulder here. And by the time I was done, I was just like, oh my God, this hurts so badly. So I got into bed and it was one of those nights where it's like, I can't even roll over. It hurts so much. Just any amount of movement whatsoever, it's wrong. It's bad. Ow, ow, ow. Just like clench your teeth level of bad. So three crashes for the Borderlands 2 stream that I saw. Oh, that's right. I figured out why. Borderlands 2 kept crashing. It was because they introduced an HD texture. They introduced like 4K textures for the game. Okay? And the 4K textures don't jive with Borderlands 2 because it's a 32-bit application, which means that it's got a really limited amount of RAM that it can utilize. No squats? No squats. I got something weird going on with my shoulder, and it's affecting me in all sorts of weird ways. So, you know, for my own health purpose. You guys own any heat packs? It kind of helps relieve muscle tension. We do have a corn pillow, but it's kind of big and heavy, and it's weird. It's awkward and it's weird, and it really only works whenever I'm lying face down, which in and of itself isn't very comfortable. So I don't really have anything that I can actually stick onto my back, especially since it's basically my shoulder blade that I have to cover with heat. That's the problem. Trigun, my beloved. I honestly started binging Trigun last night as I was working up until now. Oh, man. Wait, have I been seeing Trigun because it's out? I thought it was all, like, pre-release promotional material so far. I didn't know that it had... If it's out already, like, that is news to me. I didn't expect that to be the case. Man, it's been so long since I've seen any amount of Trigun. Because I remember watching the original series. Because, you know, like, it was back in the days of, like, using pirating programs and everything. I'm not even talking about torrenting. It's like, it predates that. And I remember watching through the whole thing and being very entertained by it. But my sisters, I have two sisters, they were way more entertained with it. Way more entertained with it than I was. And they went out and they started buying the manga, you know? So, Trigun, and then what was it? Trigun Maximum, I think it was called. So, I have strong opi- I have strong opinions about Stampede. God. Wow. Hey, Will, mine was badass. Went to the convention with my biological father, snagged up some figurines from my anime, posted them on the server, and some more good news. My birth father and I have reached the bio dad stage. The bio dad stage. I don't know what that means. I also got him a copy of Cowboy Bebop. I mean, if there was ever an anime that you could show off to somebody who's not into anime, I would have to say that Cowboy Bebop is it. Because it is extremely Western, but also that is like a crowning jewel of just good storytelling all around and in general, you know? By the way, just to let you know though, uh, by the way, just to let you know, though you didn't make it to the bracket, you got the most nominations in the Minecraft YouTube Tumblr Sexy Man tournament out of the CPH crew. Well, I thank you so very, very much. At least now I don't have to flash my wangalang, because I assume being the most sexy person means that you have to flash your wangalang. Um, if that's not the case, I don't. Anyways, um, weekend was good. Did a walk. What's new, man? Stampede made me so angry I kept calling my friend about it. It's got interesting things, sure, but a lot of the things make me want to strangle the writers. Oh my word. Oh dear. It means we are comfortable enough that I can call him Bio Dad. I wanted to make sure it was all right with him first. That's good. Don't worry, Strife. I got. Oh, I see. I see, Eli. Also, Big Bad Knight redeemed Say S Word. Your S Word, Knight, is succubus. Yeah, there we go. That's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with succubus. All right, let's stash these tools. They are all patched up now. I'm gonna go ahead and load these furnaces up so they're ready to go the next time that I come around and start working. Hoo-wah. All right, time to hit the road. Go back to working on the tunnel. Meryl, do you know what this thing is? Yes, insert Wikipedia definition of this thing. That's the entire first episode. Ooh, 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 woof, ouch. Jeez, that's not great. I'll keep watching to discover if they actually do the interesting thing I think they might, or if I'm giving them too much credit. Oh, man, that's some heavy, heavy prejudgment that you got going on there. Oh, wee. Good boy. Oh, are we talking to Butt Spot right now? I thought for a moment you were referring to me. I'm tiny and spiteful. They are ruining my... Tiny and spiteful. They are ruining my boy Strife. Now, with the lack of commas there, it sounds like I'm your boy. They got rid of the best girl and put an old man instead of her. Oh, jeez. You sound like me at anything announced by Bethesda at this point. I mean, like, I'm not gonna tell you to, like, chill out or anything. Like, I know what it's like to have something... Reimaginations, either they work or they don't work. And sometimes they work for other people and they don't work... They work for some people and they don't work for others. I know what it's like. What we're going to do here is we're going to craft up as much of the freaking mossy cobble as we can. And that demands that I get to work. So much of it. So much of it, and yet I know that it's still not enough. You can't be my boy. You're Tev's. Well, at least you respect the the competition, as it were. Watched Berserk a couple of times and tried to watch the 2016 whenever or whichever movies, and I legitimately couldn't stand 5 minutes of it before I turned it off. You know, there are so few shows or pieces of media where I watch them, and I can't make it through it. You know, like that is a really, really rare thing for me to just be like, I can't do this. You know. Absolute extreme rarity. Do we have any stairs and stuff over here that I can use? Not really. Oh, I have more mossy cobblestone here. Okay, well, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop down into the tunnels here. And I'm gonna start working. The faces. Oh lord, the faces alone. Man, I have just, like, without even intending it, I have gotten all of chat, like, just chatty as can be about makes, like, remakes and whatnot. Random dude, if you're still here, I don't know what the hell you're even talking about. You can't come in and start demanding explanations for shit just because something happened a long time ago. I have no recollection of what you're referring to. Alright. Never seen Berserk, so got no comment. Evangelion? Yeah, I guess Evangelion would be my only exposure or experience with that type of thing. Because I did watch the original way back in the day. I actually have, like, the special platinum limited edition DVD set of the show, you know? So I've been there. I've been there, done that. I remember being both impressed and not impressed all at the same time by the original film remake. And then I was like, okay, I was kind of expecting a reimagination, but this is okay. I don't have a problem with this. And then the second came out and they did reimagine everything. And, like, I was like, okay, you have decided to completely change gears, and I wasn't expecting this, and I don't know how I feel about this. So, like, that was my whole experience. I was watching Jurassic World Domination yesterday since I never saw the last one. I got through it, but man, the plot left something to be desired. So that's just it. I was talking with somebody at work, and she was like, oh god, that, like, the last Jurassic World movie was awful. And I was like, I didn't even know they made another one. I thought it was just like the relaunch and that was it. But, you know, that's just me, like, being an old man about this stuff. Have you ever stopped watching something specifically because you just couldn't stand a character? For me, I had to stop watching Glee because when a certain someone appeared on screen, I wanted to bite something. Jeez. All right. Let's... I don't need to be looking at that. I need to be finding music to play because it's too quiet in here. It's too damned quiet. What have we got? Playlists. There's not a lot for me to choose from. I need more playlists, in all honesty. I guess we'll just listen to the Mario Galaxy soundtrack. So, What was Glee? Was Glee the like the wrestling show or something? I feel like that's what it was, but then again, like, I don't know for certain. God, I have so much work. I have so much work to get done here. Glee is a school music. Oh, okay, okay. I hear about so many shows, you know? And watching television has never been a thing for me, you know? Like, and the closest I ever got to watching a lot of TV was back whenever I was just, like, consuming anime. But I was watching anime not because it was TV. I was watching it because I was obsessed with, you know... I was a Japanophile at the time, you know? And I grew out of that. So... it ceased to entertain me. Okay, did I reach the end of the tunnel with this upper dig, or... Yes, Strife, Glee was the wrestling show. Oh. Well, I'm getting some conflicting messages from you here, chat. Okay, yes, I did basically reach the end of the tunnel, so... I guess what I'll do is I'll just continue to dig this out. Like so. Ugh, more gravel. Never ends. We still laugh about a particularly bad walking cycle made for your name. A bad walk cycle for the anime Your Name? I don't recall there being a bad walk cycle for that. But okay. I'm confused. Are we talking about the Makoto Shinkai movie? Void stone. Need cobble. Okay, so... I haven't watched his latest film. I watched Your Name years back. That was a really good one. Personally really like when Marvel tried to do the typical battle pass and loot box online game and it failed, and I hope it happens many more times so the goddamned industry will get the message crammed into their head. I think that they've gotten the message crammed into their head that you can get away with it, and you won't always get away with it. Games like Fortnite are, well, no, Fortnite doesn't have loot boxes, does it? No, I think I think the resistance that especially Blizzard Activision got from the European Union and their laws and everything in the Scandinavian countries, especially, it's like, yeah, you can't publish that game here because of, you know, reasons. And it completely makes the game unplayable, and thus there's no player base for it. I think they clued into the fact that loot boxes aren't the right way to go. Basically, stripping the game of all of its content and turning it into DLC, or that you have to buy piecemeal. I think that that's where the industry more or less is gonna continue to move, in my opinion. And I think that Fortnite is a really good example of the industry coming to understand that that's basically the better way for things to work. It's like, yeah, there are 1.5 million skins, and you have to buy each one separately. And, like, at least then you've got the argument of actually receiving something specific for the money that you spent, instead of basically just paying for a pull on the one-armed bandit. So gravel veins. The bane of my existence. I love a lot of romance anime. Clannad was a good one, but that series made me cry. Oh, Clannad was freaking fantastic. That was one of the ones that I watched. And Clannad After Story. So by far their best work, in my opinion. There was also Canon and Air by the same studio. Not for everybody. Totally get that, but holy crap, man. Hey, Will, I'm going to admit, you're probably one of the few members of the Yogs that I will still try to attempt to watch when I have time to. Well, hey, thanks so much for trying to get me into your schedule. I know how it is, you know. You grow up, life becomes busy. Sometimes the things you watch whenever you're younger don't really mesh with you whenever you get older. I totally understand all of that stuff. So if you're making room for me in your busy day life schedule, however you want to put it, it means something. Thank you so very much. Nice to see you. I hope that you enjoy yourself while you're here. I do not have anywhere near enough cobblestone to really get this job done, I don't think. I'm not stripping enough material out of this tunnel, I don't think. I mean, I will get there eventually. It's just like all of a sudden I have run into pockmarked Cave City. It's like an old running animation that's super impractical and made to have the main girl look extra cutesy and fragile when she runs. It's the kind of run that would have her fall and destroy her face on the road. Oh dear. I legitimately won't ever buy a battle pass, at least like they're doing. I don't know, I love me a good vein. Well, Vash, you know, meet me at the club on Friday nights, and I might be able to help you out there. Gonna need to wipe that off. Oh my god, the toilet paper emotes. I still watch the Minecraft guide. Sure, there are more or less redundant at this point, as of caves and cliffs. I'm trying with reference, bring them up to date. I mean, I have a vested interest in some of the materials being updated, but making video content on YouTube is a challenge. YouTube is not the same place it was just 5 years ago, much less like 10 or so years ago, which is whenever I put the Minecraft guide out. I think that's how long ago it was anyway. I'm not really counting the years here, but it's been a hot minute. Oh my god, give me... There we go. Oh yeah, it's approaching a decade. It was, by my guess, it was 1.7 as stained glass was added back then. What I remember is that it was from the time when Minecraft did not receive an update for 2 years, and I was basically convinced that Minecraft was done. Like, going 2 years without an update, I was like, okay, yeah, they're finished developing this game. They're not gonna go back and they're not gonna do anything new with it. It was also relatively new. It was also like after Microsoft bought Mojang that we went for a really long time without updates, I think. So, you know, it made all of that sense to me. Excuse me. While I just take my medication here. Oh my god. Oh, my word. The gravel. All the gravel. Oh no. I'm full up. Oh no. Oh no. This isn't good. Oh no. My inventory. My inventory. Okay. Well. I think that's all that needs to be done there. Okay, me and my girlfriend tried to watch Violent Evergarden, and it made like 8 episodes deep and just didn't get into any of it by then. Man, yeah. Just looked it up. Episode 1 was 9 years ago. That's a long time. I remember playing the demo over and over again for Minecraft because it was limited to 5 or 10 cooking minutes back then. Like when it was on Xbox. I mean, time goes on, you know? Oh, excuse me. That's really more or less the best way to describe it, in my opinion. Just time goes on. Life continues, etc. Okay, so now that we're here, even though I'm lacking the material to actually properly kit this tunnel out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Here we go. Let's grab this. You can go right there. We just need to convert all of this into stone stair. I don't have anywhere near as much stone on me as I would hope for, as I would hope to have. But I've got what I've got, and we're gonna start from here. I still need to go back and get my hands on diorite or whatever in order to kit this whole thing out properly, but we're gonna start our process. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then yeah. Okay, cool. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okie dokie. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hooey. Okay, so it takes like 2 stacks to do this. I'm gonna have to come back down here with deep slate at some point as well. I love how life has gone on personally, and I'm glad Minecraft is still being played, but I couldn't do a long-term play right now. Not for me now, we're on. Started watching back in 1.8, first time I played myself, but I played the demo in an old notebook I had for 4 frames per minute. God, that hurt. I ended up waiting over 2 hours to punch out a single log. Man, it's just so interesting because Minecraft has always been a game that I've been able to run without problem. So to hear that there are that like so many people had problems running this game is just like a very strange thing for me to hear because it's so far from my own personal experience. I'm here for the thick slice of Strife pie, not anything else. I mean, you guys keep me honest on those with those squats and everything. So, okay, I've got enough for one more section here, and then I'm gonna have to start picking out the sides again. Go. I would love to play more, but I always have trouble finding things to build or to do. I always end up mining a lot. You know, it really is a Legos experience with this. It all comes down to your own personal imagination, and I have that exact same problem. So much of this game becomes redundant at some point to me. It's like, wow, I do not know what the hell else to do. So I totally get it. Like, I 100% get the whole problem of, like, I don't know what to build. I'm stuck. I'm just utterly and completely stuck. Because it happens to me as well. It's just, I don't know, like, a big part of me is like, well, you know, if you're stuck, just start trying to do something new, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. Also, like, it's not something that I, like, require myself to do either. usually, like, every single time that there's been a series that I've had to do, it, like, I've had an idea in place already for that stuff, you know? Yeah, you got me covered there, Eli. Always with the picks. Minecraft is the kind of game I will run on. It will run on anything but the single core notebook of the late aughts on the old Atoms. Oh man. Almost like you need a cobblestone generator. Good evening. Hello, Ignis. How are you doing? All right. Ooh la la. Ooh, hey, look at that. Cooler Man Nacho just resubscribed. 62 months now. Holy moly. Hello, Will. What's your favorite anime of time? My favorite anime is Dr. Stone and Overlord. I'm turning 31 this year. Hey, well, congratulations on that. My favorite anime? It would probably have to be Cowboy Bebop. Like, I don't think that there's ever been an anime that's come close to being as amazing as Cowboy Bebop, at least in my view. It manages, like, in an episodic manner, it manages to tell so much and do so much world building and everything. And it doesn't fall victim to what a lot of bad writing today is, which is like, oh, we have to do the backstory. Like, this is the purpose. We must do the backstory. And it's like, well, no, all these characters have backstories. They have point, they have purpose, but that's not what we're going to focus on. That's going to be something that you find out as we continue to go along here. And only are we going to give you the backstory because it involves a current today world event. You know, like, something is happening right now, and that's the only reason you're going to learn the backstory, you know? Because it is related to what is going on right now, and we're not gonna, you know, do all of this stuff right up at the top of the show, you know? And a lot of it is left to, dude, you have to put the things together. We are not going to 100% spell out why, you know, anybody is where they are. Like, it should be fairly obvious once we tell you the backstory why they are where they are, but we're not going to sit here and expressly tell you, hey, this is why this person is leading this life, you know? So okay, I still have the stone cutter here, so let us plunk this bad boy down, and let's make some more stairs. Nowhere near as many stairs as I was expecting to get. Jeez. Let's go back this way and start stripping more stone out. Goes to strip more stone out, immediately finds dirt. Ugh. Not just some dirt either, like a lot of dirt. work that freaking back muscle. Ugh. Really putting effort into your shaft there. Oh, you know it, Big Black Knight. Big Bad Knight. Bleh. I'm fumbling my words. Assassin Classroom. Goofy and fun, but serious at times. Man. Hello, Darking. How you doing? Oh, so here's something. I've been thinking about adding a new point redemption to the channel so that you can swap the flags on the back wall. But if I do that, I'm going to need to get my hands on additional flags to decorate the back wall with. And you know, I'm not particularly... You can call me out about my BBK all night. Oh my god. Oh my word. And I'm thinking that if I implement that, you know, the ability to swap flags on the back wall, not only do I need more flags, but like I would prefer the flags to be made of... I would prefer them to be, you know, like not nations flags, essentially. I would prefer them to be like... you know, from fictional... Oh, my inventory's full. Okay. Nothing I can do about that. And I've got at least one idea for something that I can add into the mix. For, 10. I've got at least one idea for something that's not quite a flag, but still fits into the mix for decorating the back wall as well. The question is whether or not I add it onto the wish list and see whether or not anybody buys it, or if I, instead buy it on my own, and then you guys get to see it at some point up on the back wall. Always fumbling that first stone. Ugh, I'm doing a terrible job here. Gonna have to go up top here and patch up this section. Well, I got enough space in my inventory to pick up the remaining stone that was sitting around back here. Let's hope it didn't despawn on me. I think one of the more pride flags, Ender Chest. Looks for Narya flags. Strife, what the heck is up with the Thanos swimsuit? I saw it as like a post on Reddit where someone was like, I didn't expect to learn that this was a thing. And the minute I saw it, I was like, oh, that is a perfect gag gift for the list. That is a perfect gag gift for the list. Is a comically large pair of underwear? Wait a minute, Cortex, did I talk about it already? You spotted it so easy. Okay, let's use some scaffolding to get up top side here. I gotta start patching this up. It was a toss in the dark. Did I actually guess correctly? Yes, you did, actually. You absolutely did. Was not expecting a toss in the dark to come through and just be entirely correct. But there you go. To be frank, this is a very Strife thing to do. This is true. This is a very, like, having an enormous pair of underwear on, hung up on the wall is a very me style of joke, so... You know, we would have to see you in it eventually if it was on your wall. But all I can imagine is now is a comically large pair of boxers covering the window. Strife and Tev stream, you each get a leg hole. Yes, yes, that would work. That would entirely work. Man. You know, that now that I'm chatting with all of you about it, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe what I do is I actually like go and find them off of like Amazon, and I put them up on the list just so you can see them. Like, do that right now. But I mean, in regards to other stuff on that list, like the Thanos One Piece makes almost too much sense. Like, the minute I saw that, I was like, oh my god, this almost feels like it was made for me, you know? Just wait until I put it on. Okay, with that done, let's start stripping some additional stone out here. I mean, the Thanos One Piece is like... That's right in line with, like, the Rudolph Mankini that's on that list. I see how it makes sense. I was just a bit startled because I didn't expect it. Oh, you haven't hung around this stream enough if you got startled by it. You gotta go in expecting these things here, Sarah. Oops. I hadn't seen a Thanos meme in a while. One must open their mind to madness and underpants. Right now, the top meme thing is vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is a meme right now? What on earth is the story there? Alright guys, I have an important question for you. I have an important question. Are you ready for this, chat? On Tumblr, we made a cake with 70% vanilla extract, so now it's everywhere and I love it. Oh my. Maybe? Okay, so this is the question for you. Okay. This is the question. Pink, red, white with black polka dots, multicolored polka dots, leopard print, red with white polka dots, or rubber duck? That is the question. Actually, you know what? I'll just, I'll make a poll here. Rubber duck? I mean, you know, part of me wants that, but at the same time, the other part of me wants to do, like, leopard print or multicolored. God, all of you are just like rubber duck. I mistook teaspoon for tablespoon when I was trying an online recipe for vanilla bread or some shit. It was awful. Oh god. Yeah, that would definitely frickin' mess up a recipe something serious. Strife, this poll doesn't have a vanilla extract option. It's mandatory. Okay. Tumblr introduced polls. Someone made a poll where you decide the ingredients you add to a cake. Vanilla extract was leading in the poll so much that people were adding vanilla extract to their own polls that had nothing to do with baking. Okay, okay. So, manage poll. Where do I work? View results. Solution Tower, Side Shale, Mid Crest. Solution Tower 1. That's a poll that's a little bit old. All right, new poll. All right. So this is a big novelty. Okay, so I'm gonna have to write this stuff out. Okay, there's another one, and then... God, there's a lot of typing for this. All right, we'll run this poll for 10 minutes this time. Okay? There. We'll see how long that takes. May we see the rubber ducky? Someone actually made the tumbler cake and the conclusion that it was okay even though it was like half vanilla extract. If we're voting on favorite undergarment pattern, I would have to go leopard print over rubber duck. I mean, let's be honest here. How many of you have rubber duck for a print on your underwear? Did you see the Elder Scrolls wiki had a Skyrim Sexy Man contest recently? Teldrin beat out Sirana for first place by 2 votes. You're kidding me. Teldrin, the guy who you hire out on Solstheim? I thought for certain Sirana would end up coming out top. Then again, like, I figured that, like, what's her name? The Housecarl Lydia would come out top. It's a bit stormy outside of here. I'm kind of full up on material here. Probably makes sense to head up topside and deposit some material that I'm not going to be able to use up. Specifically all this dirt. And just so you know, it's possible to buy additional votes on that poll. You have to have the channel points for it. Oh, look at you, Ignis, redeeming the S word. Your S word for today is, sexy. Yeah, we'll go with sexy, Ignis. Because that's exactly what we're voting on. We're voting on something exceedingly sexy. Okay, that's basically everything that I'm going to get done here. So, I am going to launch... I made a bet that if Serana won, I would have to get foul murder, the art piece of Nerever being stabbed in the back by Vivek. By Vivek's genital spear as a tramp stamp. Oh my god. Holy crap. You're lucky you didn't end up having to do that. Rubber ducky is good, but damn leopard print me. I'm basic as fuck, so just normal boxers is all I have. Nothing is more sexy than a big man in his far bigger pair of underwear. One of the running gags of my internet persona is that I think Serana is overrated. Tev would absolutely throw down with you on that one. She likes Serana so much. Oh, you know what? While I'm up here, let's go ahead and do a little bit of clay work. You guys having fun with that poll? I've given you plenty of time if you want to, like, I don't know, spend some extra channel points, since you can't be spending channel points today. Fully clothed, the underwear is so big, it's like a shawl for your pee-pee. God. I'm saving up for schemes. What are you scheming on, Sarah? Like, I expect Rubber Duck to win, you know? If anything other than Rubber Duck wins, I'll be amazed. All right, that's done. So we'll head back down into the pit. Which do you think I have more of in my drawer? Leopard print or Ducky? I think somebody's buying votes there. I just got the feeling. You expect it. That doesn't mean you have to like it. Will, I have 150,000 points. Leopard print is going to win. Hello, Ace. Oh my god. I'll tell you what I would prefer to win. There is a pattern that I would prefer to win, and I'm not going to tell you what it is until we get the results. Ace has been in this place for... Ace has been around for a while. The fact that Ace is basically cleaning up right now does not surprise me in the slightest. Ace of Base was an awesome band. I didn't know that there was a band named Ace of Base. I like how I didn't even know that you had shown up yet, Ace, and the first notification or any type of warning that you're present is just you like basically unbalancing the market. Contributed 7,200 channel points. Holy crap. Oh my god. Oh no. I stopped paying attention. You spent so many channel points and Rubber Duck won out. 48% to Rubber Duck, 45% to Leopard Print. Extra no. Yes, and you failed. It's fine. Holy crap. Okay. I'd offer you a consolation prize, but I'm not wearing leopard print today, so what can I say? I can't really help you out there. Alright, what I will do now is, Rubber Duck it is. So we'll go ahead and fix this up here. Anytime now, Throne. There we go. Successfully added to wish list. I will now move that a little bit further down on the list towards some of the more gag-oriented material. Actually, we'll put it right up next to the Thanos bathing suit. There we go. Okay, cool. So, if you want to see it, go ahead and visit the wish list. The gift list, if you will. And what I will do is I will continue to try and find different types of wall decorations in the spot where the flag goes so that we can continue to swap flags out as a redemption. Gag-oriented or gag-oriented. Oh my god. Are you suggesting that I need to put some sort of a gag on the throne? Next time. Extra stabbed ace in the back. Hey, Strife. Can I have a refund? Haha. Just a funny joke, you know? Huh? I've been here for a while. I've just been slow to start moving today. I see. Or rather, I don't, because, like, not until recently did I recognize anything. Anyways. Like I said, I'd offer a consolation prize, but I'm not wearing any leopard print today. Interesting story. So my understanding is that undergarments were never qualified as a how to phrase this. Evidently, it was Fredericks of Hollywood who originally did the leopard print thing and forever changed whether or not undergarments were qualified as like a fashion thing. Because evidently before the leopard print was a thing, they weren't something that you wanted to show off ever or were special, you know? If you do put a gag on the throne, I can see Tev using it more to shut you up. God. I mean, Valentine's is right around the corner. There's nothing stopping me from putting some really, really dirty things on the throne for a very brief period of time and being like, have at it. Have at it, chat. If you wanna send that type of stuff along, cool. If you put a gag on the wish list, I will buy it. All right, you know what, guys? You know what? The music has ended, and I am out of coffee. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up a new music playlist. I'm gonna get that going, and while I'm gone, you know how to get to the wish list. If you want to find some of the dirtiest stuff possible for a brief time to put on the wish list, I'll do it. I'll put things up on the wish list straight up through Valentine's Day, no matter how filthy or perverted it is. And if it gets bought, then it gets bought, but only for a limited time. I seriously doubt any of you are actually interested in this, but you're the ones teasing it, so there. You've thrown down the gauntlet. I've picked it up. I will beat you over the head with it, but you guys have to actually find the real products and suggest them to me. And there is a suggestion system on Throne. So there you go. Anyway, guys, listen. I am going to get myself a refill on coffee and stuff. I will be right back. Do not go anywhere on me. All right, I have returned. What are you guys discussing? What sort of gay should we put? Free handcuffs? An app vibrate? Oh my word. Maybe that's the solution. I'll hook you get me a vibrate app and I'll hook it up to channel points. Holy moly, I broke through. Well, okay then. Looking pretty good so far. Good evening, Aquarius. Good afternoon, Aquarius. How are you doing? There's filthy things afoot in chat. Hook it up, but give control to Tev. Last time the dildo didn't get to him, so maybe take two. I'm doing well. Just finished a handful of battle passes for some games. Hey, well, I mean, I hope you're enjoying yourself with all that stuff. Ugh. Music and sound. There we go. Now I can hear myself breaking stone again. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you're just trying to hit the goals because they've given you arbitrary lines to cross. I know what it's like to be like in that battle pass mentality where it's like, oh, I gotta get stuff done. Like it's a limited time. Like, and you've got FOMO and all that. I like how, specifically with you, Ace, everything is like basically coming full circle, because you were the one who purchased the inaugural undergarments for me all those years ago, so... I've come a long way since then. going to compliment Riot Games. Are they... Is Riot the one... Are they responsible for League? I can't remember. Sticky items available to put on the list. I'm a little bit scared to take a look at what you guys are suggesting at this point. LOL is done by Riot. Okay, cool. I got that straight. Unlike so many other things in my life, which definitely aren't straight, but whatever. Who's keeping track, right? My mind is definitely in a place right now. I glanced over at Discord and I saw somebody on Do Not Disturb, and my mind did not see Do Not Disturb. It said, in what I thought I saw was No Nut November. Which doesn't make any sense. It's February, but... Strife, I just discovered it's impossible for me to buy circus peanuts in Italy. I can only buy Reese's Puffs. Wow. That is unfortunate. That really freaking sucks. I haven't suggested anything. Gotta get ready for stuff. Aw, that's unfortunate. But don't worry, it's okay. I shouldn't expect anything. In fact, my expectations are so low, I'm not expecting anything. Man, my vacation starts next week, and I'm just sitting here like, oh god, I hope that my fucking back is better by the time my vacation hits. Ooh, there's my inventory full up. My God. I'm suggesting things, but I've forgotten the directives. I mean, probably if I found on the right site, but I wouldn't buy them in bulk. I don't know if I like them, and usually I don't enjoy marshmallows. They last basically forever. This is true. Up in Milan, there are some shops that sell American goodies. Maybe I'll check that out next time I travel. I mean, they are quintessentially American. The chances of finding them in a shop overseas, I don't know what that would be, but though usually have only the more popular stuff. Yeah, and trying to find circus peanuts, like, even where I live is kind of rare these days, so... So other than a novelty pair of panties, that's the size of a flag to go on the back wall, what else could go back there? I was trying to find, there is a royal banner for, the family of, like, the Hylian family. The royal, the royal Hylian banner is a thing. And, I was trying to find one, and I can't. Whips, rope, feathers, candles. I live near a specialty candy shop. Ooh. That was a fairly lengthy phone update. Oh dear. Longer than my penis, I guess. Which isn't difficult to do. I'll never forget whenever I got the phone that I have now, back in, I think, March of last year. The first update broke the Wi-Fi. And I just couldn't use my Wi-Fi internet for a month. That's just the way that it was. It was like, yeah, here's a brand new phone. Oh, by the way, the first update broke Wi-Fi and you can't use it. I was so fucking pissed. Oh my god, I'm full up already. Alright, there's no getting around it. I have to hit the rails and go back again. So sorry to leave you guys with nothing to really spend your points on today. At least I can watch the tunnel fly past me. Redeeming Showmug. Alright, alright. You get Showmug. You get Showmug. There we go. Cheers. Got him. I mean, you get to see the beauty of the back wall, so. Cuppy outfit? What is a cuppy outfit? I'm enjoying racking up points to use in future streams, and I'm still, like, nervous because you have an outstanding token that you refuse to spend. So, you know, we've all got our things. Cupid outfit. Ah, Cupid outfit. Yes, that would be a thing. Okay, what have we got here? Just some normal cobble there. Cupid in his rubber ducky print attire. Now, there's a pattern that I've never really understood. The hearts, you know? Like the heart print boxers. Strife at me. He's just standing there, menacingly. It's the truth, man. You've got a freaking token and you're just kind of sitting there. Heart print panties, though. I mean... yeah, that makes sense. Print boxers? No, it doesn't make any sense. Alright, let's watch the actual tunnel here and see. That's a little bit loud. Hopefully that's turned down just enough. I have, like, plaid boxers I use. You know, like, for me, personally, like, just the concept of boxers just doesn't make any sense anymore. But that's mostly because of the fact that, like, at some point I realized that I didn't like how... it was like... wearing just... it was too breezy, I guess you could say. It felt like there was no point to wearing boxers. It was like, why am I even wearing these? They don't seem to be helping in any way, you know? And everybody's got their own... everybody has their own preference, you know? Everybody is entitled to that preference. And I'm not going to tell anybody one way or another about what they should and shouldn't be wearing, you know? They're not containing things down there. Exactly. And that bothers me. That bothers me so much. It's just like, man, nothing is contained. Everything is just, like, out. And I'll never forget whenever I realized they made, like, contouring pouches and whatnot. I was like, this is incredible. Like, for a time, I was, like, all in on boxer briefs because, like, those are, you know, quote unquote snug. And they hold close, and they properly keep things where they're supposed to be. And they're made out of some very, very nice material. But then there was the problem of, how to phrase it? Just skin-on-skin contact, you know? Ducks would totally make Cupid more bangable. That and boxer briefs. It's so you can pretend you're not wearing anything, but still wear something. But like, I used boxer briefs for a long time, but there was the problem of, like, the fact that basically there's just no pouch, you know, for equipment. And you get stuff can stick to your leg. It's a very real thing, you know, ask most men, and it's just like, oh yeah, like, you start to sweat and things start to stick. And I hated that. That was the number one thing that I always hated. So after I found out that, like, there were all of these styles and cuts where, like, there's literally just this contouring pouch where it's like, oh my god, this fits everything perfectly away. You know? This is perfect. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Like, it was such a game changer for me. Like, when I realized that that was a thing, I took it up and I never looked back. And it's been that way since, so... I prefer boxers when not wearing panties, obviously. I mean, yes. I mean, obviously. Like, what, like, that's the default type of underwear that everybody wears. Clearly. There was a cycling short maker that called their pouch the Choo Choo Penthouse. The Choo Choo Penthouse. Oh my god. Criminy. What a sense of humor they had. I'm definitely not into the wedgie feeling of tighty whities. Well, that was the most unexpected discovery for me, surprisingly. Like, because obviously it's like, okay, well, you're basically moving from the territory of here's stuff where it's like at most you're buying it in a 2-pack, you know? Because that's where I started. Like that's where a lot of people start. The economy situation of like, yeah, you get like 3 or 4, anywhere between 2 and 4 pair in a single pack, you know, and that's what you buy. And then I moved to, you know, like the experience of like, oh, I'm gonna spend $20 on each and every individual pair that I have. Like that was basically where I ended up going, which naturally led me to finding that there was a lot of other variety that I had never tried. Specifically, thongs. Now, I didn't know what I was getting. Like, I didn't know what it was gonna be like, but I was feeling adventurous, and I was just like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. And not all of them were perfect, but my God, once you find a style or a cut that works, it's just like, well, this is the go-to all summer now. So, like, that's what's happened to my drawer. It's like, it's half and half. It's stuff it's thongs on one side, and it's, you know, something that covers the backside fully on the other. So, just nothing but panties and thongs. So, like, the quote-unquote wedgie feeling has never really bothered me. Figuring out that it worked was like... figuring out that can be comfortable was the biggest surprise ever, in all honesty. So... okay, Steamhouse time. Steamhouse. The first time I wore a thong, I was so happy, actually. Like, literally the same reason Will said. Exactly, exactly. Hello, Mr. Electron. You have joined during quite a moment. Quite a moment. So, you know, it's like... it's just incredibly freeing for your horizons to broaden like that, you know? To know what you enjoy, to know what works for you, to know what feels right and everything. And then to know that, like, oh, well, maybe there are, like, other places that can get, like, more unique and more niche and whatnot. So... but, like, Fruit of the Loom type underwear we all wore as kids was the worst, though, right? Yeah, it absolutely was. It absolutely was. I remember wearing, you know, like, cartoon Fruit of the Loom underwear whenever I was a child. And I remember, like, having to beg my mom to switch to boxers at some point because I didn't like it anymore. You know? So... like, I was dissatisfied with it, and I remember having to do hard negotiations with my mom about, like, I like, can you please buy something different? And I must have been, like, I don't know, 12 whenever that was going on. it was an experience, you know. It was an experience. So like I've had I have a whole history in regards to this stuff, trying to, you know, switch and figure out how to do it, you know, which is difficult when you're a kid, right? Like changing your wardrobe when you're a kid is difficult because you're not the one buying the clothes. So like your parents can make like an executive decision for you that may not even work for you, you know? And I think in a way that's part of the reason why I revel in the stuff that I have so much. I mean, hell, just for like 4 days now, like over this last week, I've gotten 3 different emails from a boutique that I have purchased from on multiple occasions, and they're like, "Hey, we're having our Valentine's sale. Check out all this nice, you know, undergarmentry that we have. It's fancy stuff." And like, what is it? I think the line that they've introduced most recently is like ripstop, you know? Sometimes referred to in the past as a windbreaker. So, which when I think about it, that's a really terrible name for a type of fabric. Windbreaker. It's like, oh, you're supposed to fart in it? God. I like briefs, but that's because I live such an active lifestyle. Boxer briefs. And I get that. I really, really do. Yes, anything to get out of that rigid cotton cock prison. Oh my god. Rigid cotton cock prison. I believe if you feed that specific selection of words into Etsy, you'll probably get a very particular type of product offered to you. Just realized that whatever I suggested is going to be from Amazon Italy, so I don't know if it's going to be available to you. You know, in situations like that, I try to figure out what the product is, and then see if I can find it on, like, Amazon America, you know. Also known as Amazon Normal, because everybody knows that Amazon is a distinctly American company. The curse. Yes, the curse. I mean, and I mean, it's like, look at me now. It's like I am so unfazed by special garmentry and everything that it's just like, yeah, go ahead, buy me a pair of, you know, like silky naughties, and I'll put them on. In fact, pay me $100. I'll strip off whatever I'm wearing for you, you know, in like the most PG-13 or late night TV type of way that it would be acceptable. So okay, let's go ahead and start putting stone up. Ugh. Keep screwing this up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still lining up just fine. One of the whole knitted minion penis socks. God. Can I suggest Etsy links? Does that work too? Yeah, Etsy works with Throne. There's a whole lot of sites that work with Throne. Like, my biggest regret is that, like, the boutique that I've bought many of my my undergarments from, like, they don't work with it, which is unfortunate because, like, I really do think that they're worth the price of everything that you pay for, even though they're definitely up in the, like, designer realm at this point. I've seen too many as I randomly browse. Okay, so that's as far as we're going to go on that one. We'll just turn around and we'll start laying the brick stairs in the other direction. Throne doesn't work all the sites in my country. Yeah. There's a limited number. Like, Throne is very clearly designed to basically work with America specifically, you know, the United States, and not much else. Like, it is fine-tuned for American, you know, buying and shipping and everything, and anything past that is like, it's kind of gravy. Where it's like, yeah, like, that's not really what it was designed for, but we can kind of get it working without too much trouble type situation. So... I used to wrestle, and the basket team would call us gay and trash the showers. I actually hit one in the face with a bag that had my wrestling shoe in, and it's like, we're trying not to spread skin disease like ringworm. Come on. But after being naked with like 40 dudes, you get pretty comfortable with your body. Basketball team. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of insecurity whenever you're a young man. Especially with the way that culture and media is these days. Like in the West specifically, I don't know how much it is in other cultures. I can only speak to where I've grown up and what I've lived through and what I still see today. But, you know, the whole concept of like... You know... Hang on. go down to the far side and start building from here. This goes a lot further than I thought it did. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Crud. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. All right, there we go. Now I can just kind of place without having to think. But yeah, there's so much insecurity when you're young. Just exceptional amounts of insecurity that you have about, like, am I doing things right? Am I, like, do I look right to other people? Like, basically from the moment that you start to become... What is it? I think I've heard it described in, like, the way that we develop as children. At first, you know, we don't know anything. We are basically infinitely imprintable whenever we are extremely young, and we're just soaking in absolutely anything, staring at it with big eyes. You ever been stared at by a child with, like, large saucer eyes? That thing. It's that process. Just like there's no such thing as something that isn't worth staring at and watching whenever you're super young. And then you move on to realizing that you exist, you know? So it's like poking yourself, you know, looking at, like, your own body, like I'll never forget seeing kids, like, basically, like, poking at their own belly, you know? And just that whole process. And then, after that, you become aware of other people, you know? Like, their presence, their existence. And then after all of that, I think the final step is you become... all of it comes together as one single thing, and you're like, oh, I exist, they exist, we are similar but dissimilar type thing. And that's where the the self-awareness happens, you know, where you're what's the word that I'm looking for? Silence, music. You're too loud. It's not self-confidence. What's the word whenever you're self-conscious? Is that I'm trying to remember what the turn of phrase is for being, you know, just like embarrassed about yourself. Self-conscious, is that the word? Terms are just escaping me right now. And you basically are stuck being so self-conscious of yourself from, I want to say, at least the age of 10, if not earlier, until you are like, potentially until you die, you know? Potentially until you die. And some people never get out of that, you know? Self-discovery leads to human interaction. I am back from the steam house. It's just the prospect, you know, of it's the prospect of learning about yourself and then being self-conscious and being embarrassed about yourself and being worried about other people's view of you, you know? And some people, they get to a point in their life where they're like, it is what it is, and they don't care, you know? And other people, they never get to that point. And there are so many different potential reasons for people to not get to that point. There are styles of there are certain lifestyles that demand that you never get past that point, that you sit on that and you never leave it, you know? And I don't think that that's particularly healthy. I can speak to a certain amount of I can speak to a certain amount of that in religious circles, at least, where it's like, no, you can't get to that point because this is how things are supposed to be. Like, having you know, what religious experiences that I have, those were very prescriptive, and it was like, okay, you're supposed to be this way, and if you are not this way, you are wrong, and that is a problem. And that's where that's where a lot of like some of the more horrific things from that religion can bear out come from. You know, things like, you know, we can stop you from being gay type stuff. Down to like things such as exorcisms and whatnot, because I do not for a moment believe that like ghosts actually exists or angels or demons or anything like that. But I know what it's like to basically be in that situation where not being certain of yourself. Oh my god, how much fucking gravel is down here? Chat, I'm drowning in gravel again. Uh-oh, I actually ran out of space. Ooh, hello. Me and my girlfriend were just in a store walking around, and we leave the nutcracker aisle, and this kid behind me says, "I have a nutcracker," thinking I'm his dad, I'm assuming. And when I turn around, he had a very like deep-seated eyes for a 7-year-old. It looked like he had eye bags because he had the most horrified face I had ever seen on anyone ever, and I couldn't help but think it was the funniest thing ever. Wow. Oh my god. Barbarian Jim. That gravel emote is fucking amazing. I love it. Okay, I've made a decent amount of this stuff. Let's go ahead and let's get some more stairs in here before I have to return to the surface again. I have no earthly idea where I left off, so I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to start working on it from this end. Okay, so I can actually do it from this spot. That's great. But yeah, like, it was incredibly liberating for myself and everything whenever I realized, oh, I can just dress. I can do all sorts of things with this clothing, this type of clothing or that type of clothing. And for me specifically, it was like a metric of comfort in regards to my my underlayer. you know? And it's just like, this is what works for me, and I'm going to enjoy it, you know? And that was a long, steady process. And, you know, it's it didn't stop or end, really. I guess in a way it's still going, because like I have like I'm up to a point now where it's like, let me put it this way. I never would have imagined that like what makes me comfortable is something that I would talk about out loud to other people about, you know? And now I do, because like it's just that level of this is good for me and I enjoy it and it doesn't hurt other people. That's an important thing. If something's good for you and you enjoy it, it has to be something that doesn't hurt other people, you know? I'm close to the end of my scheme. Can I use the points or can I not? I don't know, Sarah. I don't have an answer for you. It's a thing where only me and my girlfriend will know how funny it was because words cannot describe that kid's face. Oh my word. Oh no, did I not grab my... Oh, I didn't grab a freaking minecart to get back. Oh crap. Well, this isn't cool. What are your plans with the, what are your plans with the points there, Sarah? 2, 3, 4, and then that one is 5. I'm missing 2. I can give you 2. God. And you know, the life that I lead now, I'm like, hey, let's make small penis jokes and whatnot. Like, which isn't something that I ever would have fathomed being capable of doing, you know? Much less like making those types of jokes to a larger audience, you know? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I need to be checking these. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Hit the end of the line. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my word. I didn't think I was that close to done. This tunnel is actually coming along quite well. Okay, gotta go. Have a good day, Will. Hey, it was nice to have you along for the ride, Ace. Enjoy the rest of your day. Too bad all of those points went into a void and just got eaten up, and you don't get leopard underpants. You think as a kid, fart and penis jokes won't be funny one day. As a 36-year-old man, they are even funnier. Some comedian I don't remember. You think as a kid, butt and pee-butt Joe Butts won't be funny one, buddy. But as a 36-buttar old man, they are even funnier. Some comedian I don't remember. God, butt spot. Okay, Sarah. Congratulations. You have managed to redeem the fabled, couldn't care less. I have 150,000 more points where those came from. Okay, then. I won't apologize next time. Lesson learned. Okay, so, Sarah, you have redeemed the fabled, swap pants option. So, we can do this a couple of different ways. I'm gonna lay out to you your options. Your first option is that you tell me a style. You know, something like you tell me a particular style or a cut of fabric, and I will give you your options from there. You can give me a preferred color. We can go from there. Or if you are completely and totally paralyzed with option or choice with the way that this works, you can tell me to roll a d20, which will lead to you know, basically drawing one at random. You can tell me to pull one at random, which is basically me tossing a die, and we'll see where it goes from there. If you got something with Valentine's Day vibes, since the day is coming. Okay. Let me get myself back to base here so that I can actually just kind of park myself with knowledge that I'm in a legitimately, 100% legitimately safe location. So... you're coming with me. I'm not forgetting you again. I had to screenshot that magnificent butt spot moment. Stash some stuff here. So, Valentine's Day vibes. Actually got a picture list on my phone here. Let's see what we've got going. Oh my god, so many. I'm getting notifications about gift suggestions. My phone's on silent. Okay, so, photo gallery. I think I do have something. Back from Lurk finally. Work done. Hey, congratulations, Kato. Were you editing or were you, like, fixing up audio or something? Okay, so, Sarah, I think I've got something that's perfect for the swap here. So, let me just step away for a brief moment and grab the replacement. My day's free until my buddy wants to play the Dying Light 2 since there was a legend level update. Was there? Man, I haven't played Dying Light 2 in months now. Cleaning up the look, physical therapy workouts, recorded Patreon vlog, edited it, uploaded it, the whole sitch. Well then. I need to do a better job of updating my Patreon. Which direction is down for these things? I think that this is the way that it works. Okay, so. Here we are. Sarah, you asked for something Valentine's related, since it's not that far away. So this is what we had up on the wall. How flirty. How flirtatious. And this, Sarah, is what's going up onto the wall. Hearts. Fantastic. This set actually comes with a top, but obviously it's like, how are you supposed to put that up on a hanger? So you could say they're brilliant. We were talking about heart panties earlier. Yes, we were. We were, weren't we? Because a heart pattern on panties makes sense, but a heart pattern on boxers has never made any sense to me. All right. So, Sarah, there you go. Your points have gone to good use. Come to think of it, there is something in there's a setup in that. Okay, there's stuff on this list. There's stuff missing from this list. I completely forgot about them. On boxers, it makes sense if you need to get your pants comically ripped. I suppose that is true. Like, we're going full Maximo style here. Super ghosts and ghouls or whatever. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to dump some of this mossy cobble, because I do not need all of this mossy cobble in that shulker. I'm going to leave it at that for now. There we go. Deposit the dirt, deposit the cobblestone that I have, and then go back down. Oh, it's always a happy day whenever somebody ponies up the points to actually get a pants swap going on. One of the most expensive things that you can pay for on this channel. And the only thing that gets more expensive is the hundo, but we won't go there for now. Alright. Back down to the depths we go. I'm happy that most of you guys are such good sports about the sense of humor here. North and east. Here we go. You've been saving up. Well, now that I know that there have been suggestions for the wish list, I'm very curious to see what you guys do. If you're interested, be certain to check back, you know, like tomorrow or Wednesday or something. I'll try to sort through all of the suggestions before then. I feel like it's required and will be saving up for 10K. Well, Kato, it's funny. I was running a poll earlier today because, you know, I've got the flag on the wall back there, and I have more than one flag that can be... Oh my god. Oh, I'm missing the stairs here. I need to come back through and fix that. I've got the flag on the back wall, right? So what I need to do is, like, put in an option to change the flag on the back wall by spending channel points. And in the process of discussing that, I realized it would make absolute sense to get a novelty pair of, like, giant panties, right? And have that as an option for the flag back there. So there was a bit of a fight, quote unquote fight, going on with the poll, because it's like, okay, what's gonna win here? And someone was dumping all of their points because, you know, they just kind of sit around, and this person sits around and soaks up the points because they're here so frequently. And they were dumping all the points to try and make the poll go a particular way, and then got distracted at the last minute and didn't put enough points in to get it their way. So, salute your short style, eh? Yep, exactly that. You know, string it up on the flagpole type stuff. I mean, this is a type of humor that you can really only get away with if you are a small scale streamer. If I was, you know, like, pulling in an audience of 200 to, like, 1,000 or whatever, there's no way that people would, like, jive with this. Didn't you originally have to put pressure plates on the inside and outside of doors because they wouldn't close them, which is kind of the whole point? Yes. The thing about the station is that it's so old that it predates the whole pressure plate system that I developed. And the pressure plate system won't work whenever the doors are too close together. So I have 2 sets of double doors that are way too close together for that system to work, which is the reason why I haven't put it in place. Can't find the set of underwear for the suggestion. I think they could. Look at Finister. Doesn't he stream on here? What's... I'm confused. What, Finister? I don't know what this is. I don't know this streamer. I don't know the name. I'm entirely lacking context about what you're discussing there. So... Finister. Australian streamer who is basically a token femboy. Finster. Oh! Oh, Finster. Okay, yeah, I know about Finster. Every single time I see Finster, I am given to a significant amount of confusion. Is Finn actually like does Finn actually live as a man, and like the dressing up is just a shtick, or is Finn like trans? Like I think and I think it's a situation where every single time I look into any quote unquote femboy streamer, I am just like, I can't tell if this is a life choice or if this is just a entertainment shtick. Finn is a guy, but he dresses as a girl. It's complicated. He's very much committed to the bit. And that's just it. It's like, so much of it is just like, if you were like, no, this is me, this is totally me, it's like you would come out and say it. And if it's not you, if it's not like, it's like, oh no, I'm just doing this for the entertainment, it's not difficult to come out and just say that either. But when there are certain types of people where you're really, really committed to a routine or a bit, and it confuses the shit out of the people around you. And I'm getting a lot of that energy. And I'm just like, either something else is going on here or not. And I am so confused. Hey, Gilham, how you doing? Finster does a thing called Girl Month. He's got to dress as a girl for months and months. If I'm not mistaken, I do recall learning this in the past, where it's like, it was like, I'm gonna do this, and as long as we make like, I think it was like literally a direct to money type of payout situation, where it was like, yeah, okay, so if we make this much money, if I make this much money every single, then I will dress up as a girl for the next month. And I think it's basically been running for like 2 or 3 years now at this point, because there are people who are so committed to making certain that it stays that way. And it's like, hey, you know what? If you've found a way to make bank by doing that, and you are okay with doing that, more power to you. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with doing a similar thing, personally, if it wasn't for the fact that, like, God, the whole prospect of having to put that much makeup on. Because, like, there's no way that I would do, like, I can't fathom doing that and doing it in a half measure, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to, like, put a bunch of, like, if you're gonna do it all the way. Don't do it half-assed, etc. So... He got all his clothes in a box wrapped in tape, so it's sure that he doesn't wear men's clothing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Finster is also, like, not the only person who does something like that. Because there's a clip that's gone around on social media, I've seen it more than once, where basically, there's, like, Omegle or chat roulette or something, where two, for lack of a better word, I'm just going to say cross-dressers. I know that that's not entirely correct, but two guys who look like women meet on like a chat roulette or something, and one of them speaks up and has this super deep voice, and the other one has a super high-pitched voice, and they're two separate people doing basically the same type of thing. And yeah, Finn was one of them. That was how I learned the whole story. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm so confused. And I start reading through comments, because of course, like, I see the clip on Reddit. I spend a lot of time on Reddit. Too much, in all honesty. Finn and Nat. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Why can't a guy look like a hot girl? I love it. I mean, there's something alluring about, you know, a guy looking like an attractive woman. Very unique. All right, let's finish putting let's finish up the ceiling decorations, so I know when I can so I know that I can stop making stairs, as it were. Oh my god. So is between Finn and Nat, which was the one? One of them did like vocal training to sound feminine, and the other one just didn't bother with it. Which one was it that did that? Did you ever play Dishonored: Death of the Outsider? No, I never even played Dishonored 2. Like, I played through the original Dishonored and some of the DLC. I think 2 of the 3 DLCs. 2 of the 4 DLCs. Nat's the one who... Okay, so that explains. Because if you start doing vocal training, I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I hear that and I'm like, it sounds to me like you're doing more than a bit at that point, you know? The Cato Archives has a photo that very much gets confused that way. I have a... I was a pretty big girl in the day and totally dug it. Oh my god. Wait. The Cato Archives has a photo that very much gets confused that way. I was a pretty girl that day and totally dug it. Wait. Cato, are you saying that you dressed up as a woman once? That's interesting. In like a super convincing manner? I would do voice training to mess with people. It's very fun. I mean, it sounds a whole lot to me like doing that type of voice training is like not really going further in on a bit. I would love to learn how to do that type of thing just for the fact that I've always liked doing voice work. So, like, I'll never forget, there's a man named Phil Lamar, okay? He's a voice actor, amongst other things. And he voiced a character named Vamp in the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And I remember watching the extras for the creation of Metal Gear Solid 4, whenever it came out. And he talked about the process of figuring out how to do the voice for Vamp, which was a particularly deep voice. And he was like... And he did this steady transition of his voice explaining what he was doing. And I realized, oh man, that's really, really cool. And it was basically moving his voice so far into the back of his throat that the voice stopped being alive. It was now unalive, hence the reason why he could voice, you know, someone named Vamp that way. Who, you know, obviously is a reference to vampire, so... And I took that to heart, and I started messing around with it myself. Voice acting is no joke. For a moment, I thought everything was upside down. Ironstorm, S-word. Your S-word right now, Ironstorm, is stairs. because that's exactly what I'm working with. Tons and tons of stairs. I didn't dress up as a girl convincingly, but my face and hair plus emo makeup make me extra attractive to everyone. It was titled Pretty Girl Photo or something like that, since it was hard to tell. I'm entertained by this. I'm entertained by this. Okay, this is looking pretty clean. Ugh. Oh, redeeming reverse screen there. Alright. Reverse the screen. Reverse the screen. I'm gonna have to reshape my freaking... That's a calculator. That's not a clock. Right. There we go. Timer started. I would love to record audiobooks for fun and things like that, but my pronunciation is not great. I once tried and I kept stumbling through words. It is difficult. It is difficult. It's a skill that you build up in regards to reading and whatnot. I'll show it to you the next time you're on the Pipcast or something, Will. Cool, cool. I mean, I guess that's you promising that I'll be on the Pipcast again in the future. I'm gonna remember that. Anyways, speaking of which, the last time that I was on, like, we were talking about the release date for, well, the release, quote-unquote, schedule or whatever have you, for Starfield. Like, do we actually have a release date for Starfield, or have they just kind of... They still haven't nailed anything down, have they? I am absolutely baffled that they haven't given us a release date for Starfield, and I'm like, oh, this means it's going to get delayed again, doesn't it? Because the only alternative is that all of the sudden they're like doing this in enormous media push for the fact that Starfield is going to be out in a month, you know? That's the only alternative that I can see. Because the longest lead time they ever gave themselves in regards to a game's release was Skyrim. Skyrim had a 1-year lead time, and they were pushing that game hard. They didn't. I feel like they didn't have to do that with Fallout 4 because of the whole hoax situation that was going around ahead of time. So there was no need for them to do a huge media push because people were looking forward to it so much. There was so much community anticipation. They didn't have to advertise it as much, I feel, you know? Oh no. More gravel. Microsoft is having a 10,000 layoff this year, too. As far as I know, Bethesda Studios is part of it. Man. That's rough. And I mean, they were pretty much just acquired, too. I mean, that's pretty bad. Like, how long has it been since they were acquired? 2 years, maybe? SimCity music? Yes, I am using the SimCity music in the background today. At least like for another 9 minutes. Alright, let's block this in. Do I have enough block to actually do this? Looks like I do. Lucky me. I don't have enough void. I gotta go back to this. I hope Obsidian isn't a part of it because they are owned by Microsoft too. Aren't they? Yes, yes, Obsidian was bought by Microsoft as well. The sad thing is that stock prices see many layoffs. The sad thing is stock prices see many layoffs as a great thing, even though it reflects terrible managerial and hiring policies. Yes, but you have to remember that stocks are not interested in long-term. Stocks are not about long-term stability or proper product management and stuff. Stocks are about growth. That's all that they are ever about. There is a very strong sentiment in the business world these days that basically says growth is all that matters, growth at all costs, and if you are not growing, you are a failure. And here's the thing, like, stock is inherently bad for a company long term. Okay? Because and this gets to another like mantra that I hear regularly and constantly, and I've heard for a long time, and it took me a while to, you know, like ponder it and figure out that it was utter and complete fucking bullshit. But it's the statement, companies exist to make money. And that is not true. That is not true at all. That is actually a bad take. That's like someone saying the purpose of cars is to make you feel macho. That's not true. The purpose of a car is to get you from point A to point B, you know? Companies do not exist to make money. Companies exist to perform tasks or perform tasks, whether that be creating a product or providing a service, that cannot be provided by one person alone. Okay? It requires multiple hands to make it possible. The purpose of a company is to supply a product or a service that is otherwise not possible to be offered by a single individual. And to do it more efficiently. Now, there are plenty of different discussions to be had about why companies exist in the form that they do, being, you know, the idea of, well, you know, companies are supposed to have, they're a method of like absolving any one individual of legal responsibility whenever something goes wrong. But inherently, stock does not help a company long term, because the purpose of stock initially is, here is a portion of said company, you will pay me, and then there is a promise at some other point in time that this might be worth more money. So you can sell this piece of company to somebody else. Okay. You can sell this piece of company to somebody else for more than you bought it from me at some point, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The problems arise when you get to a situation where now the company has ceased to grow. It spent the money that it brought in after it issued, after its IPO, okay? After it has issued all of the shares that it will ever issue. Because the way that companies, the way that stock works is that you have to declare your maximum number of shares when you go public. And to my knowledge, it is not possible to create more shares after you do that initial offering. You cannot, because that's qualified as what's known as a stock water down. That was a tactic that people used back in the day to try to fleece rich people out of their money. It was like, oh, you want this company? Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's just buy X number of our stock, and they start printing additional stock so that the rich person keeps buying it. You know, so naturally, you go after the rich people. You go after someone with money. And the money that they have, well, the rich and powerful are going to go back after you. So there are laws against making additional stock for a company for that reason. So there is a set amount of stock that a company can have whenever it is initially offered, and it cannot be increased afterwards. So after all of the stock is issued, after the company has gotten all of the money that it can in its hands, then you get this situation where the people who own the stock still want money out of the company. Well, as of now, the company is beholden to the people who own bits and pieces of the company, you know? And what happens is you end up with these situations where the company is no longer focused on trying to provide a proper product or a proper service. The company is suddenly focused on the fact that the people who own the bits and pieces of it are expecting more money from it. This is what leads to a situation where you see these huge layoffs and the company's stock value goes up. Well, it's because the stock isn't interest. The stock value is not about the stability of the company. It is about the company's ability to pay out to people who own the stock. And that right there is fundamentally the reason why stock is long-term bad for a company. Because eventually the company, like it's an initial cash infusion. It's like, oh, it's like you are an enormous conglomerate, like you're a company and you need, and your business model is big, it's solid, it's very, very useful and important. Like you could take Amazon for an example. Amazon expanded so much after they started to offer stock, and what was clearly stated about Amazon whenever the stock started to be offered was that you wouldn't be seeing dividends for a long time because it was all about reinvesting into the company, all of the money that comes out of, like, okay, you bought the stock, we're going to use all of this money now to expand Amazon. And it's still kind of, but not entirely, in those early days of having all of that stock serve the purpose of building new facilities, of creating additional fulfillment of product and everything. And eventually, the money used to make that happen goes away, That money eventually goes away. And once that money is gone, once the infrastructure cannot really expand anymore to do anything different, and nobody is expecting you to do anything big or new or different with the company, then they expect the apparatus to start paying them indefinitely for the one-time payout, for the one-time buy-in that they got, Like, if you think about it, it's like letting someone buy in. It's not like, it literally is letting someone buy into your business with the promise of getting an infinite payout sometime later down the line. It's like, feed me for a day and I will proceed, and I will allow you to demand that I feed you for the rest of your life. That is in a big way what stock has become, and represents for companies. And that's just not sustainable. It's flat out not sustainable. So stock prices, stock valuation going up, I mean, it's a speculative system. Speculation is never about longevity. Speculation is always about what is it worth now and what will it be worth tomorrow. So it is inherently unnatural in its design. Oh, like investors who give money because they believe in your product or charming personality. They can believe in your product, they can believe in your charming personality, but the whole point is that it's going to become worth more money down the road. And there's always, like, when it comes to angel investors are people who have lots of money in their pocket already. Okay, they have money. It's just a question of what they're going to do with the existing money they already have. It's not theoretical money. It's not money that's been loaned to them or anything like that. No, we're talking legitimately rich people who already have rich man money. And angel investors will come along and they'll be like, okay, well, where can I put my money that will result in me getting more money? And sometimes angel investors exist like in the space of, oh, here's my rich son and his company keeps failing, and I just keep investing in him and that type of thing. And that falls into the category of, like, the rich taking care of themselves and their own and whatnot. I don't know. But fundamentally, stock is just, it is long-term more harmful than it is beneficial. Like, there is a reason and a purpose for it up front, but it basically is like lighting a fuse that will burn for who knows how long before it reaches the end, which is, like a blasting, the dynamite stick. So it's just a matter of time before publicly traded companies eventually lose sight of why they were created in the first place, and what service or product they were supposed to offer, and they're just not offering it like at all, or if they are, they're offering it poorly. And you know, the company will end up barreling out of control. And I think this would be an interesting economic thing to try to track, but it's like there's probably some sort of a standard curve for how long a company can be publicly traded before it actually starts to fall apart, because it's trying so hard to just infinitely pay out to shareholders who have not given anything back in so long. They have gotten all that they could ever want out of the company. They have gotten so much out of the company and more. And have like there's nothing more to get out of the company, you know, because like you gave, like you paid 100, you got your 100 back, you've gotten 10,000 back, you have gotten so much in return, but that's still not enough. And you know, the way that the stock works, it goes that way. You've inspired me to play Minecraft, vanilla Minecraft again. I'm really enjoying myself. I mean, that's exactly what discussions of economic data and, you know, like business practices. That's the typical practice right there. You know, I talk about these things and it makes people really want to play Minecraft. Talking corporate politics while playing Minecraft. You've got no idea how much time I've spent thinking about these types of things. You know? I am so sorry for being, like, so distinctly boring and bringing up such a humdrum snore subject. I know that what you guys really show up to my streams for is to talk about, you know, like, you know, panties and dicks and transgenderism to some degree, I guess. Like, we'll try to get back to that next time. That being said, it is about time for me to stop. So, don't forget butts. Yes, butts. Butts are always important. Butts bot being an important component of the entire system. You need a really good way to get XP. So, Chainsy, I have two potential solutions for you. Okay? Two potential solutions. Solution one is to create a smelting farm. Okay? Your first solution is to create a smelting farm where you literally, you just grow as much cactus as you can, okay? And you harvest it and you smelt it up and you take it out of the furnaces, and that's where you get your experience from, okay? And that pairs directly with a bamboo farm. So you grow bamboo, you grow cactus, you smelt the you cook the cactus into green dye. And that's a way to get experience. It's not the best way to get experience. The second option is to create a mob grinder. Okay. And though it's like way too large for anything that you're probably trying to design, if you check the Rebuilding Solutions series, I did make a mob grinder there that would definitely do the job for you. I love not being a Minecraft player and learning about cactus smelting and mob grinders. It's still messed up that I think they poached a lot of the Fallout London team and are probably firing them, if not now, then soon, I would bet. Oh, jeez. That would be really fucked up if they do that. And they probably are. You're probably right. That's probably exactly something that's going to happen. Usually the newest tires are the ones that go first. Okay. There we go. Looking much better. It's also, it's partly also the fact that silent investors fell out of fashion because people wanted to control what their money did. That's true. Speaking of butts, did you see the asset in the day before's otherwise boring gameplay? I think I know what you're talking about. Is it a girl who like if I'm thinking of the same clip that you're talking about there, Kato, you're referring to like a clip where there's like a girl who's like wearing either like, I don't know, yoga pants or sweats or something, and she's just kind of running through the world, and it's like what everybody responded to was like, oh my god, it's like there's just ass. Just her ass. It's so defined there. The game looks horrible and boring, but that ass. Yep, okay, yeah. I just see that type of stuff and I'm like, man, I'm gonna go back and play more 7 Days to Die, you know? Because, like, that's the game that's really doing it for me. That being said, there are other games, like, on the horizon or out there that, like, I don't know, you start playing more 7 Days to Die, and Steam is like, hey, so you liked that game. Guess what? There are a lot of other games. Like, there's a game called Volcanoids that I've seen a lot of lately, and I'm like, this actually looks like something I might be interested in. You know? I should get back to 7 Days to Die at some point. Man. Owning a business became more competitive to the point of predatory rather than doing one's best. Yeah, there is a lot of that. There is a lot of that. And vehicle businesses have been basically co-opted into vehicles of wealth creation rather than a means of supplying some things that people need, you know? I think it's called Vampire Survivor. I need to play that. Oh man, Vampire Survivors is you couldn't get a better game to play, okay? Like that's all I'll say. Vampire Survivors is an amazing game. It's worth every freaking dime that you can spend on it. And it's one of those games where like you will buy it and you will probably lose hours and out like you'll stop playing everything else for like a week at least. If it bites you the way that it does everybody else, you'll pick it up, you'll play it constantly, nonstop, and then all of a sudden you'll put it down and you'll be like out of the haze and you'll be like, what have I done? Why did I spend so much time on this game? You know? Alpha 21 for 7 days should be coming out soon if their Reddit is to go by. Yeah, and I'm going to get my first taste of what people have been complaining about with 7 Days to Die. Because, like, this is the first time that I've picked up 7 Days to Die in, like, a decade, you know? So I don't know what to expect with an update, but my understanding from community members who have been on the game for a while, their response is essentially they keep re-engineering the exact same stuff. It's like they're like taking apart the same Lego set and rebuilding it in increasingly bizarre ways without ever actually adding anything new. And it makes me nervous. I don't know that that's the case, but I can see if that's exactly if the way that the community talks about it is exactly what's happening. I can understand why the community seems to be so fucking jaded. I was gifted Vampire Survivors recently. I have lost many of my free hours to it. Jiggle physics? Hey guys, guess what? I have jiggle physics. I mean, they're on the micro scale, but they're still there. Me neither. Cost cutting, especially with the big acquisition in limbo for Blizzard and Activision, makes it all feel icky and horrible. Man, like, I'm... Okay, so I do pay attention to national politics and everything, and I just don't know if, Okay, so here's the deal. Personally, I believe that, is it, the FTC? Yeah, I think it's the FTC who's brought the case that, like, Microsoft owning Blizzard Activision is definitely getting into monopoly territory, okay? I think that is definitely absolutely the case, where Activision, Microsoft buying up Activision Blizzard is a step too far, okay? Because Microsoft has been going on a buying spree and it's starting to make me uncomfortable, and I know it's started to make a lot of other people uncomfortable. It's not Sony fighting them on it, okay? Sony is raising concerns about it, but the Federal Trade Commission has come up and said, okay, this is big. This is a really big thing. And the thing is, when mergers happen, the Federal Trade Commission has to give it the go-ahead. You have to check with them before two companies can merge, and they have to say, okay, this is not a problem for the industry. And the FTC has decided, no, this is a problem. This is too much consolidation. They don't want COD to be exclusive in 5 years. Yes, that is a thing. That is absolutely a thing. But there's no buying off the FTC, and the actual court case is from the FTC. It is not from Sony. I'm certain that Sony might be litigious about the situation, but in their own capacity. But the FTC is actually bringing the case that you can't merge. So naturally, Microsoft or Activision's response, I don't remember which company, they are filing that it's not okay for the FTC to do this. Okay, like this is not okay, or whatever their particular legal argument is. So what's happening is that, this is a case that has to climb its way up through the courts, and I don't know whether or not this is the type of case that could ever find itself in front of the Supreme Court. Now, what I do know about the Supreme Court is that given its makeup, if it ever does end up there, I believe that the makeup of the Supreme Court right now dictates that they would side with the companies. I don't see it landing any other way, given the attitude that many of the justices have. So, but that is so far off, assuming that it actually gets to that point, Okay, so, it is actually really late for me. I need to stop here. So let's go ahead and hop in a cart and get out of here. The USA is run by companies, and why they quietly have in their pocket politically. It's kind of sad and almost dystopian at this point. Oh, it's extremely dystopian at this point. It's no secret. And most of the media is owned by a small selection of companies, and obviously, based on where the purse strings lie, they don't want you talking about like the really, really big. They don't want the media talking about the way that businesses own things. That is not good for business. Controlling the narrative is incredibly important about how and where we socially operate and what direction we go. Some things get too loud that you can't drown them out, or you can't control the narrative on it, though. Like, a good example of that is the situation with climate change and everything. It's like, no, like, the world is getting hotter, we can tell. Storms are getting worse. It is very clear, So some things you cannot control the media on and control the narrative for indefinitely. You can do it up to a certain degree, but whenever things finally get large enough, you can't close your eyes and say there's nothing wrong whenever. Like, you can't close your eyes and say, I'm not in the middle of a hurricane, when you have water up to your waist. You can still feel the water then. So, Florida is scary these days, more so than unusual. Yes, mostly because, well, I'm not even going to say anything. The world is Tumlet. The world is Tumlet. and they're tumult. And there's just no getting around that. And the fact of the matter is that the world tends to have these long swaths of quiet periods where things are going relatively well for most people, and then it changes. Then all of a sudden, like the changes pile up and they pile up and they pile up. The problems pile up. People don't really want to address problems, etc. And then you get watershed moments. That's how you get things like watershed, where things change rapidly and all at once. That's happening where I work right now. Like there's a lot of modernization happening with the place that I work, where it's like, oh yeah, like there's a lot of things that need to be done to modernize the way that this job is performed, and there are so many ways to do that modernization, and it affects people in such profound ways as well. So, you know, there's just there are long stretches where nothing happens, and then all of a sudden you get tons and tons of change all at once, and that's kind of what we're in the middle of. We are in the middle of one of those moments where things have to change. Like things around us have changed so much, and the way that we live and the way that we operate has not adjusted to it. And you know, we're talking about like very real situations where, you know, what's happening with the weather, what's happening with our environment, what's happening with our ecosystems, what's happening to people's ability to survive, etc. And push is finally starting to come to shove in that regard. So, and you cannot shut your eyes and say, this isn't a problem that I don't need to deal with. So, $1984. It's always been the year 1984. It's never not been the year 1984. I mean, 1984 is a very, it is obviously extremely dystopian, but at the same time, 1984 I don't think is a particularly good representation of the way that the way that the world has changed and everything, or the way that the world is that we found ourselves in. I believe something far more sinister is what we found ourselves in. I think what we found ourselves in is far more sinister, and it is more apt to the literary work Brave New World, where it is consistent. There's a huge amount of media spin, where it is almost all bread and circus keeping things together at this point, where things aren't really working all that well. But that's just my 2 cents. That's just my 2 cents. 1984 is just better known, is all. Not that it is a good book to read. All right. I am going to, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just park my character here, and I'm going to log out. I'm not even going to log out of the game. Like, this clay is not going to smelt itself. It's got to get going again. So, set my spawn point there. And I'm just going to park and hang out. Getting to Fahrenheit 451 too. That's a book that I haven't actually read. I should read that. Man. All right. Whew. Stop that music. Oh, wee. Oh, wee. Guys, you have been a wonderful and a lovely audience. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming along for the ride. Wow. Holy crap. This is a lot of stuff that's been suggested for the list. Holy mo... So much. So much has been suddenly suggested for the list that I haven't seen before. Oh, that's a fancy pair of underpants. How nice. You know it's always good whenever you look at the product and there's just like this big like, oh, we can't show you that thing going on right now. How much is not stream friendly? You know what? You know what? That's a good question. I will actually count this because I don't have any squats to do today because of the way that my back is. Much to my surprise, it is all stream friendly. It is all stream friendly. None of it is stuff that I can't show. That's a huge surprise. What do you know? Yet. Well, I mean, you can type in exclamation gift and you can hop on over and try to you can suggest whatever you want. The whole entire shtick that we were spinning there is the fact that you can go ahead and suggest whatever filthy stuff you want for Valentine's Day. I'll put that stuff up, and then once Valentine's Day hits, I'll remove the stuff from the list. Doesn't matter how filthy it is, I'll put it on the list. So you can look at it and you can giggle about it, and if you're feeling really, really, really mischievous, you can actually put your money where your horny is and buy it. So tempted to say I'll take some pictures in a set of chat's choosing if the situation was right. All right, but anyways, I am going to. You like circus peanuts too? Most of my family doesn't like them. Oh, I love them. I fucking love them, and they're fantastic when they're not like dried out and hard as a rock, which is exactly what I got most recently. All right, anyway, guys, I have actually got to get going. I need to, visit use the necessities and then make lunch, and I got to get out of here in a half hour in order to make it to work on time. You guys have been a wonderful and a lovely audience. I will see all of you on Saturday at 12 noon U.S. Central Time. And until then, you take care of yourselves. You stay happy. You stay healthy. You stay safe. You might end up seeing more of me, not this week, but next week, because I'll be on vacation, which which opens up my schedule. I can go ahead and, have some more fun streams if I want. I'm not going to dedicate to anything. The one holiday that I did that, I regretted it because I was streaming way too much, and it was like I didn't even get a vacation. But next week I'm on vacation. There's a good chance you'll see more of me next week. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. You've been lovely. You've been amazing. Take care of yourselves. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay filthy, and have fun with the wish list. See you next time. Bye.